What's going on, everybody? William Stuart, Mr. Sean Green joining me here for this one.
That's the nicest you've ever been to me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We got some exciting action coming your way here as we've got coverage of a bonus event. That's right, a unique bonus event for those that compete and participate through the events that the DPFL offers, such as their leagues, their ranked events, such as the King of the Hill, and so on and so forth. We're getting to that here in just a moment. But how about who we have for you? Norman Madu, Michael Tieske.
I love it.
William Stewart, Sean Green.
Yeah. Tieske is a Floridian. He's one of those Central Florida players that is very much in that community, and I hate those reflex points that he's throwing there, but a lot of people love him. He's taking on Norman Madu, or Stormin' Norman. Norman had a lot of success just a few minutes ago. He won the 50-50 raffle. So
Really?
Yeah. So Stormin' Norman has already had a successful evening without even throwing a dart.
Do we know how much that was for?
Over $500.
Okay.
So well done to him. Pays for a quarter of his flight back to Guyana.
Yeah, a quarter of his flight. Is that really?
No, but it won't be as much. All right. But, yeah, so Norman Madu, if you do not know who he is the Guyanan #1. He has played in multiple World Cup of Darts. And it's a World Cup of Darts where, you know how the U.S. has a guaranteed spot, right? It's just who's the #1, who's the #2.
Yes.
Guyana has to have a #1, #2 that they have to figure out, and then they have to go to a separate tournament to play doubles against all of the other Central American countries that are up for grabs here to solidify that spot in the World Cup of Darts. And they have done it the past 2 years.
Well, that's the way that the system works.
Yep.
I mean, right now, those Latin American countries just kind of getting involved in the game, really making that stride towards the next level, identical to the U.S. so many years ago.
Yep.
But, you know, with that brings its own challenges, and not everybody's going to get into the World Cup down there in the Latin countries. So they do have a qualifier, and Guyana's just been lucky enough to get through with Sudesh Fitzgerald, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Sudesh and Norman have been a great pairs. It's a nice split there from Norman, and he takes it out 1-0 lead. First to 3 legs here, last 16 of this bonus event. Again, you mentioned earlier, this is just to reward those players that have played the weekly throughout the entire season, Season 9, Season 10, all the ones that have been in between this. It's just thanks for being here. Here's an extra bonus event where you can win upwards of $800 for first place, second place $400, $250, all the way down top 16. So just by playing in this, you get $75.
And that's just the first event. So this is your top 32 players on that ranking system, I believe. And then when you go to the event #2, what's our prize money there?
Yeah. So it's a little bit less, but not much less. 600, 300, 150, 100, and then 75 again.
Exactly. So, I mean, little bonus money up for grabs, which is nice. And maybe if you haven't cashed in this weekend, you can at least get something on the deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, let's talk about a cool kind of juxtaposition we have here, right? It's a lot of individuals that are, you know, those top players for their country, right? Norman Madu. You have, you have Norman Madu. You have Alex Spellman, Leonard Gates that are in this bracket up against some locals like Mike Tieske, who's just a local legend, right, from Central Florida.
Yeah.
Phil Stuhan, who is from a small town in southern Indiana. He plays out of the Hog Rock, so I know him from that, right? He's here. He's playing in that Division 1, or in that bracket #1, right? So it's just cool for the opportunity of these players, those local guys, playing against those top guys, and having the chance to compete.
Yep, for sure. One second, folks. We're going to take care of something real quick.
We'll be right back.
Alrighty, apologize for that one, folks. Wanted to let Sean know the plan here. We had to go through a couple things in the background, but how about that from T-Ski there?
Yeah, the 114. I'm not on.
You're not on. You were not on. He leaves 36 there, but Norman
takes it out, and that's a 2-0 lead now for Norman Madu.
And you can see first to 3-leg battle here, so still can continue on. T-Ski's not out of this.
And he had a dart at the 114.
And to be honest, Norman's got a lot more in the tank.
Don't know why I'm continuing to stand up. I'm going to sit down.
I don't mind standing up every once in a while doing some commentary. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, and Will lied. We needed to take a picture.
Okay, that was it was a young man,
a youth player, 16-year-old Philip, who was here, and we will always take time to stop to do that. Usually not when we're live, but for moments like that, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
So Norman Madu up 2-0 over Michael T-Ski. Again, local guy from the Orlando area. He was the first guy I got introduced to. Dominic Dichiria, Nick's dad, came in. He's like, "Do you want to meet some of the local Florida guys?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." He's like, "All right." And I go, I love you because you're just trying to act like you know me. And he went out there, and the first person he introduced to me was T-Ski, who, by the way, his name was originally not spelled like that, but throughout the years and stuff like that, they just kept removing letters until it looked like it was actually sounded.
Are you kidding me?
T-Ski. Yep. He tried to make it super simple on everybody.
That's kind of funny. That is really funny, actually, to be exact. I mean, you could do that with your name.
Green?
Just Gruh.
No, what I should do is make my name a lot longer. Green like the color. Because I have to say that every time.
Just put a box with the color green in it on the back end.
Yeah. What's your last name? It's just a paint smudge of green.
Well, yeah, it is nice to cover kind of this. We, to be honest, we were pushing to the cover. It was like, well, you guys can enjoy your. No, we would like to cover it.
We're gonna enjoy our night, but later on.
Yeah, exactly. We figured this is important to do, especially. I mean,
have you seen the start hall? There's a hot tub in it.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah, that was a good opener. But you do have your Alex Bellman, you do have your David Faddams in the mix, Tucker Davey, Brian Mercer, Levi Cransell. There are those, Jim Widmeyer. I mean, there are those
Maddox
individuals.
Williams is also in that too, though.
And you know, that's the thing.
Alan Palmer.
What is Maddox is in Division
1.
No, he's in Division 3.
Okay. No, there's only 2 bonus.
But what I'm saying is Maddox is in Division 3.
Yeah, but I don't think that's how they broke it up.
No, they didn't. They just put him in there. But what I'm saying is he's in Division 3 through a 62 average today in his round robin stages, one of those being a 71 for the match.
The kid's getting better and better.
He really is. So that just goes to show you he could pull out a big performance here and really make a run. That would be good for the young man.
Yeah, Maddox. If I would known it was Maddox, I might have pushed for this more to be on the stream. But Alan was like, "You're going to put me on the stream? It's my first event playing." I go, "Nah, we're 0 for 1 in DPFL staff members not stumbling on stage."
Yeah,
you know?
that would have been good.
So Norman goes triple, so the 18 plus the 12 is 30 scored. So he had 33 left, and my math is probably wrong. No, 47 scored. Leave 16. T-Ski back on 185, cannot check this out, of course, without more darts. So he's got to hope for a Madu miss.
That's a tough task.
Yeah.
Yeah, Norman.
Many people have hoped for that and been disappointed.
I'll tell you what. No, I shouldn't do that, but I'm going to anyways. I'll tell you, the old PDC embedding services really messed up on no 180s for Norman Madu in the World Cup, or the World Championships not too long ago.
I'm not joking. We actually looked, because we were over in England,
yeah.
Right? And it's Paddy Powers, the main sponsor, which is a betting company. So, of course, we're looking at all these odds. And it was the same day that we actually had those VIP tickets. So we actually heard from John McDonald, and I'm trying to remember who it was who came in, but gave their opinion on the matches and the odds and whoever. And as soon as they said Stormy Norman, and they said his odds is he hits double 4, because nobody misses double 4 to take out the match. They said his odds to hit a 180, and everyone at our table, all 10 of us that were Americans and North Americans, went, well, that's an easy bet.
That's an easy bet. Exactly.
And he does hit that one. He did hit that 180. But Storm and Norman Madu will move on, and that will do it for T-Ski.
That will. So Norm will move into the top 8 stages as he actually got a bye in that first round. Alex Spellman did it best. Nick Saldo 3-0.
Rude of him.
Tucker Davey 3-0 over Laura Dinch. And then Brian Mercer 3-1 over Levi Cransel. That's
a
an
hot
awfully
Levi
good
Cransel
amount.
this weekend, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then John Shawman won 3-0 over Melissa Mercer. So Brian wins, Melissa loses, and they are moving quite along here. Again, it's a breaking top 16. You automatically get your money back. So no money lost.
Yeah, that's always nice. And it looks like...
What does it look like?
Where's our bracket 2? Oh, it looks like maybe we just have no matches going on in bracket 2 yet. Our bonus event number 2. And we may get one of those matches next. But you got some good competitors in that field as well. Harrison Carter, Keith West, John Steinhofer, Callie West.
And you all can find this information yourselves on Dart Connect.
Yes, that is right. I'm glad that you mentioned that. tv.dartconnect.com for you that have a laptop or a cell phone available. Go check it out, folks.
And if everyone has a pen handy, here you go. It's tv.dartconnect.com/event/DPFL Live 24/brackets.
Oh, my gosh.
/84124. Again, that was 84124. Hopefully you all got that information. That's the full thing just to get you to bracket number 2 that we're looking at currently. So you can look at it at the exact same time that I am. Alan Palmer, Maddox Williams in that bracket, or in the bonus number 2. But yeah, you said it. Paula Murphy's in that one. Scott Hanish, a.k.a. Stumbling Scott Hanish. John Steinhofer is a great one. Yeah, and you mentioned Callie West and Kevin Hawkins as well. Another big name. And how about Jonathan Nolan? Johnny Nolan down there at the bottom from New York. So we will take a short ad break just to see what we got coming up next. We might cover this whole event. We might not. We've kind of been told pretty much not to. So we're going to see what the tournament director wants us to do, and we're going to do exactly that because that's it. So we'll be right back with more coverage right after this. And none of you need to know any of that information. You're welcome.
Humphries is the greatest darting force on the planet. Bullseye. Oh, we got one. The fish has been landed. We know he's too good. The world #1, world champion. Incredible stuff.
Let me tell you about A to Z Darts. We're a specialty dart store With over 10,000 different products, we create in-depth videos and blogs to help improve your game and showcase our products. We give helpful advice on how to practice darts, the fundamentals of form and mechanics, and how to make better decisions when purchasing your darting equipment. Whether you're brand new or a seasoned player, we try to provide fun and informative content. I'm Jen, the creative director for A to Z Darts. I've been playing for over 10 years, and I've traveled the world competing in and promoting the sport. This is Will. He runs our live streaming company, USA Darts, and travels the globe as well to broadcast major darting events and interview PDC players alike. You'll find over 2,000 different sets of darts on our website. Guessing right now you're pretty interested in our resources? Learn about form, throwing mechanics, practice routines, scoring and grouping, checkout methods, cricket strategy, and much more. Visit a-zdarts.com to take advantage of our blog or follow us on social media at AZDarts today.
dance in the blizzard, we are not getting cold. So keep on dancing, baby. Dance, dance, dance. Oh, dance, baby. Dance, dance, dance. Dance,
Welcome back to DPFL Live Event 3 in Kissimmee, Florida. My name's Nick Dichiria, joined by my good friend in comms, Will Stuart here. Sean Green finally got rid of him. We were trying to the whole weekend, and we're looking at bonus event number 2 here, a quarterfinal matchup against Kevin Hawkins and Brian Garland for this one. Yeah, certainly are, Nick. It's going to be a good match here in our event number 2 for our bonus coverage. I will let you know if Maddox does take out the leg or if they go to another decider. We didn't mean to cut over, but we do have a match here on our streaming board, so that's going to take precedent first. But there you go. He's still at it, so we'll keep that in mind. Yeah, lots of love. And you can kind of see in the background there's Maddox, so they're not there. You can kind of keep that one on your eyesight there. Yeah, of course. You can also follow the matches over on DCTV. Just go over to tv.darkconnected.com. You can select the event DPFL Live Event 3 and follow every single match. If you've been tuning in for a little, I just dropped the link in the chat. So that will take you to Dark Connect and all the events for the weekend. So you can check out yesterday's DPFL Championship, women's division, and so much more. So go over there and check it out. As we get a big 180?
Yeah, that looks like we got a maximum from Garland here. They said we can be called bonus event too. You can call it whatever you want. We're going to throw some great darts regardless.
I absolutely love it. I did see Kevin Hawkins at Music City this past year. So it does travel around significantly for darts.
Certainly, and the bonus events are really for the diehard of the DPFL, right? The people that have been putting in the time, the hours, and giving the love and support to the program. And it's great to have a little extra cherry on top for all the week in, week out play that these players do.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, just rewarding those people that are constantly involved, constantly online. And we do see a lot of these Canadians in the mix because, I mean, you got Kira, Brian, Melissa. Those players are from Newfoundland. You know, their league nights 1001 5-player team. So the only actual single darts that they play is online.
Yeah.
And provincials and stuff like that. So
speaking of Brian, Brian Mercer. I was talking to him out there. I was actually throwing Sean's darts for a little bit on one of the boards, and he was like, "Oh, you're actually playing tonight?" I was like, "No, I don't get to play." And he's like, "Hey, we need to get you up in Canada, get you guys streaming some of the events out here." And I said, "Well, then we'd have to change the name of the company, and that won't work."
Canadian darts.
USA and USA Light.
And that was honestly something that we thought of. Little coverage here, little insight. We actually thought and considered about changing the name when we first got the company, and the reason for that was, okay, does this transition overseas? Does this transition internationally or up in Canada? And probably keeping the name was one of the best decisions that we did, just because a lot of people like our products now because of the USA name and stuff, but also we do get a lot of support from the international crowd still. It's crazy.
And plus, on top of that, we are building a secondary platform for more event streaming, right? We have Eagle Eye Sports. We haven't actually shouted it out this weekend, but it is our secondary platform where you not only want to continue to get extra dart coverage, there's going to be a lot more events on it this upcoming year, I believe, and potentially. On top of that, some more interesting content, getting a little crazy with it here.
Well, and see, the original thought process for Eagle Eye was a secondary streaming platform, but also other sports. And let's be honest, we've been so heavy on darts because everybody's been hitting us up. We'll see if we can get another sport on there or not. But right now, Foley darts, we're invested as we get Brian, unfortunately, inside there. So 16 remaining. This has got to go for Hawkins if he wants to potentially get one on the board early in this one.
Garland's going to be a little frustrated because he hit the maximum and has had a couple extra darts at doubles that have not gone his way so far. He knows that the time is running low on checking it out because Hawkins is going to just continue to grind away one dart at a time. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to get him to the finish line.
It does look like Maddox did get the leg for the match over there. So we wanted to go ahead and mention that.
And Garland does as well at the same time there. So good at timing, good in sync. And Garland starts off with a hold of throw. It is first to 3 here. So a little bit of a shorter format than what we covered earlier today, but it should be a great set of matches here. And just looking at the names in the bracket, you can just tell there's so many people that we've seen playing other events here that have just been supporting. I mean, Scott Hanish, the man, the myth, the legend, went out in the first round here. He's going to stick to making viral clips instead, it seems.
Yeah, he gave me a little insight on that one, and I don't know if I want to disclose it, but I will. 17 to 20 darts were in the 7 bed rather than the 19, he said. He's like, I had the 20s have been working, so I decided the 19s, and then look what happens to me.
That's how that happens, right? I will say when I went out there to throw Sean's darts for a little bit, just to give him a shot, I was hitting about a treble and a single almost every single time on the bottom of the board, and so it makes me think, you know what? It really is just Sean's fault that he's the way he is in darts.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
But that wasn't terrible. Hawkins 133 does get a big find there. Garland was the one that had the scoring prowess in the previous leg. Will he be able to recoup that status here?
And we've been throwing a lot at you, but yeah, reminder, all this brought to you by DPFL Darts, dpfldarts.com. You got to check out the action for yourself. See what you can get involved in.
Do it. Do it now. Hawkins there does continue to push himself out in front, but not as much as he would have liked on that particular visit here. Garland's going to have to try to find around a ton, and that's a great start to that campaign. Can get it in there. Kind of blocked it off. Might want to go for a cover shot. Does decide to stay, but he drops his arm there. And that's one of the things that happens, right? When you are visually looking at your dart, sometimes your brain subconsciously makes you throw a little bit softer to try to float it over, and you can drop a dart real low. That's a lot of times what happens there.
It is crazy when you start to think of actual darts releases and whatnot. I mean, just the pure consistency you have to have a professional-like average. It's kind of nuts. That one little fault in your hand could cause you, or just a little twitch in your hand, in your finger. One of your fingers can cause issues.
Certainly, and
Or another thing, you're working around the house. Oh no, I was cutting a tomato, sliced my finger. Uh-oh. if it's your throwing hand, what do you do?
Then you're in for a really bad time, right? On top of that, we talked about with the Super Cups, when you were looking at plus the 65 averages only and minus 65 averages only, you saw the discrepancy there. It wasn't that the players in the minus 65 couldn't play to that level. It's that they can't play to that level every single time as often as you see in the higher divisions in that pro level play, as you will.
And you saw some of those averages crawl above the 65 mark, but yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. Sorry, I was just looking back there. I thought Maddox was still playing, and I think he's just practicing with somebody now. So, same board. I was like, whoa.
Maddox, what do you got going on over there?
Don't be tripping me out like that.
Yeah, he's going to be playing Michael Kleiner in the next round. The winner of that will play either Paula Murphy or Brad Farley in the round after that. So
okay, so Michael Kleiner is the one he's practicing with, or over there playing, so...
Yeah, looks like he'll just be right back up. Maddox, he likes to be in the camera view. He likes that little bit of...
loves it.
He likes the lights. I'm not going to lie. He's asked us for a few interviews before. I'm looking forward to continue to watch him develop as a talented youth player. I mean, we saw him in Cherry Bomb multiple times. We see him all around. He travels to a fair amount of tournaments and is just absolutely loves the game and did particularly well in the Caribbean Cup, I believe.
Yeah, I think he won that youth event for the boys, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
So, good stuff for him. Well, Kevin's not going to be able to capitalize here and grab the out, so Brian's going to get the look at 78 for a 2-0 advantage here in bonus event number 2. I believe next up will be Brian Mercer taking on Tucker Davey, unless they move the match.
They still have it assigned to us for the time being.
So I'm sure that we'll just get that 1 second coming here. This is a quarterfinal matchup already in the bonus event. They're going to move pretty quick.
Yeah, exactly. And especially, we talk about it with the speed of events. The first round, the first moments as Hawkins does get that, make it 1 apiece here, you'll see a couple players that are maybe struggling or maybe just not finding it in that particular moment. And once they kind of dump out, the players start playing faster and faster pace because they're starting to get into more heated matches. And on top of that, let's be honest, every event here is just kind of run ahead of schedule or on schedule at the very worst case scenario. Blind draw last night, I believe, started around 9 o'clock, was done by 11:30. That is incredible. I believe Alex Spellman beat out Tucker Davey in that final. I don't know their partners, unfortunately, off the top of my head.
Kevin going downstairs here in the 19s. Capitalize on a 1-3-3.
Yeah, some great scoring prowess to start off for both players, honestly. 100 follows 1-3-3. It's just about who can get those bad rounds to be less bad, those good rounds to be even more better.
Even more better.
140 there will work and continue. And I believe that is definitively more better. Oh, and Hawkins just kind of peppering the outside of that 19. Does not replicate the previous visit of the 1-3-3. So 2-6-1 here. Can be on the attack, again, trying to defend Garland's throw, but also getting himself to match point. and that's going to be a great start to the campaign. 100 leaves a finish, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. So now the 320, you have to hit above a 140 here, a 150 at minimum to leave the 170.
Tough task. Tough task here. Let's see if Kevin can do it. Do we have any other advancements on the brackets there for 1 or 2 in the semis or quarters?
Yeah, currently in your quarterfinals here, you got John S. I always mispronounce his name. Schaumann and John Schaumann. And then you got Alex Spellman that beat out Michael Wallace 3-0. And then Norman Madu, which beat out Michael Tieske 3-0 there. So that's going to be your current quarterfinalist there waiting on opponents. A couple of interesting. I mean, Ben Goddard currently playing against Edward Pope. Chris Bear, which is really one of those diehard DPFL supporters, always playing in everything they got, and a class act individual as well, playing over there. David Fadden, Jimmy Jones currently going on. So a lot of competitors in Event 1 duking it out. And then currently looking at the quarterfinals for Bonus Event 2, you actually do have a quarterfinal playing Michael Gentry, Daniel Orico, and then Kevin Hawkins, Brian Garland, of course, which is what we are looking at.
Brian tries his hand at tops, unable to do it. So Kevin for the 160. Got to feel he needs to take this.
On top of that, I mean, apply some pressure to the 20, even if he doesn't. So even if it doesn't go your way, which that first start doesn't, he kind of does the eyebrow raise. You need to stay focused for your other ones. You can't let it affect you because you know every dart and every point matters in that scenario. There, he only brought it down 40 points to 120, which is a definitively easier checkout, but not as easy as he would like if he gets the opportunity to return. Garland would like him to not. Going to work his way into the red spit.
Take a little closer look at that double bed. And the good thing we did, because that was corner pocket.
Great shot there from Garland. Now on match point, but Hawkins will get the darts in this leg. 17 dart leg, so, I mean, a pretty good standard here in bonus event 2. Whenever you see these different players on the stream, ones that have made the appearances or not, you always wonder, what are they going to bring? What form are they going to be in, especially for the first stage of match? And right now, Hawkins says, look at this form. Finding a 1-3-3 once again.
Another one. That's, what, twice?
At least twice.
The last leg he let off with that. This leg he's leading off with as well.
Garland responded with 100 and then a 140 as well. This case, not going to be the same. Hawkins taking advantage of his throw at the moment here. And you can see, man, he looks serious over there. Hawkins is dead dead eyeing the board there.
Knows he needs this leg, and if he doesn't get it, well, he's out.
Those 19s have just been his friend. There's certain players that just really love staying towards the bottom of the board. I mean, I think the most notable player that I think does it consistently that's high level is Paula Murphy. Is pretty keen on almost always staying on the 19s when she can, unless she's really not feeling them. And we saw a couple players that just opted to do those routes. It's one of those things where 20 is supposed to be everyone's best number, but if you're knowing, hey, maybe it's not my day, there's nothing wrong with doing a little bit of movement on the board. It's the only darts that make sense are the ones that are the most comfortable for you to do.
Kevin again using those 19s to his advantage. And it's good. I mean, for you folks at home that maybe are new to the game, you need to utilize all aspects of the board. So if you're practicing at home, do a few 501 legs where you're constantly moving. So your first dart's at 20, your second dart's at 19, your third dart's at 18. And move around. Go 19, 18, 20, or 19. You know, just kind of move around. Do different aspects. Don't always go for the 20. Don't always go for the 19. The reasoning for that is because you watch a PDC player, they're always moving because that's the game for you. It's percentage shots. If I'm blocked or if I take up a certain amount of ratio on this triple bed, how likely am I going to hit it again?
I absolutely agree with you there, Will. Practice makes perfect, but also good practice makes perfect. It's one of those things where not all practice is created equal. Sure, going up there and playing a match against a Dart Connect bot or playing against your friend might help a little bit, and don't be wrong, but any amount of playing is better than no playing, and I will always say that. But at the same vein, it's about how you practice. For me personally, I start by just going at bullseyes until I hit at least a certain amount, and then after that, I will practice my combination checkouts, your 1-3-2s, your 1-2-6s, checkouts within those range, the 1-2-2s, anything that requires a triple, single, and then a potential last start at a number, and then I start working my setup shots from 200. Then I set maybe throwing a Bob's 27 there as well. It's about finding the practice that works best for you that also helps you best utilize your board and game management.
Good. Well said. I mean, for me, 121 always going to be a good one with a practice partner if you want to, or even the 61. You know, from there, that can be a good thing to work on. A little bit detrimental there for Kevin as he leaves the door open for Brian.
Yeah, and for both those darts to go into the four is a little bit unfortunate. He did still get dart for the bowl, and he did had to go at it. I mean,
so I did speak a little bit too soon there, that he did have a shot at the bowl.
It was also hard to see exactly where the dart lies, but let's see where this one's going to lie. Double 15 for the match. Brian Garland. What a shot this would be. The green bit.
Ooh, boy.
But now this 25, you only get at max 2 darts at the double here. Kevin's going to feel like he has to hit this because he does, or else it is potentially over.
There's 9 for double 8.
And then over to double 4. He hugged the wire, and it does go in, making it 2-all here. Going to a last leg decider with Garland to throw first here. Maddox Williams and Michael Klein are currently 1-1 in their matchup. They're duking it out in what looks to be a pretty much a real dogfight between the guys.
Yeah, you can see that going on behind us about, third board down. A little bit of a mention towards Michael, pair darter. So very, very good dart player. He does have a prosthetic leg. So just a mentionable fun fact that, anybody can play this game, whether you're young, old. If you have, maybe a quote unquote disability, you can play this game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, pair darts are super important. When you said pair darts, I'm not going to lie. The first thing I was like, oh, why are we mentioning the pair flights? Like, okay, good for him.
Or a pair of darts.
Yeah, or a pair of darts. Like, oh, he likes pairs play. Good for him. No, but pair darts, I mean, great to support as well. And in fact, it gives opportunities because darts is one of the most welcoming sports for any type of person, any type of situation. Doesn't matter who you are.
And this thing, I mean, standing players, Michael, there's sitting division as well, which, I mean, David Hillsberg, a fantastic shot of the U.S. He plays in the sitting division.
Mm-hmm.
So just wanted to let you know that if you maybe do have a wheelchair, you can play this game too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why not,
And there are some tough shots in there as well. So it's definitely something interesting, and I fully agree with you there, Will. Something worth supporting, looking into as well.
Well, Kevin, what do you say here? Going after the 19s once again, looking for a 95 or better now. Especially after that first start. I think that's a 1-3-3.
Richard Otts here does have an interesting question. Talking about percentages, on 25, why don't more go at the 17 towards the 3-wire, 17 for double 4? If you slide to the 3, you still have double 11. I personally think that a big reason why the players go for 9, and don't be wrong, if you're feeling nervous and your hands are shaky, go for the wire shot if you have a wire shot.
Yeah.
But normally what happens is if you go for the 9 for 16, you just have longer to break it down. You're giving
Well-
yourself more shots. If you go right to the leaving yourself 4, then you only have the opportunity to miss inside once before you're at double 1.
You'll see
Or
the
twice, excuse me.
Well, the thing about double 11 too is you go inside there, you're donezo. So there's risk reward on the 317 side, but we do see the 17 come and play a lot for the double 8 return. But yeah, 9-5 is going to be your predominant go-tos there. 9 for double 8, 5 for double 10.
Yeah, and personally, I'm not a big fan of the 5 for a double 10, but it is very popular. But yeah, when you're thinking about your wire shots, especially for that where it's not a 10-6 wire shot where they're evens, but you're actually looking at the 317 for odds, it's just better as far as just settling yourself, calming yourself down to aim at that wire if you're feeling nervy, if you're not feeling super tight. But otherwise, I would go 9 for double 8 100 times out of 100, honestly.
Here's a good question. What do you do at 50?
What do I do at 50? I'm not as scared of anything, Will. I go right for the red bet.
Well, that's dumb, but
No, 18 for double 16 is my default there.
okay. Here's a wake-up call for some people. 14 for double 18. Oh, baby, and what a shot from Brian as he takes out the 100. Caught us by surprise there, honestly.
Yeah, a 17-dart leg there.
Good stuff as he takes out the leg. And I tell you what, we're going to go right back to Maddox as he's taking on Michael in the background, so we'll go ahead and do that one.
Yeah, and they're currently battling for the double right here. 1-1 still. Maddox is on 40, Kleiner on 55.
I love it. I love it. Well, we'll take a short break here, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back with more coverage here in just a moment. In the meantime, enjoy this matchup as Maddox and Kleiner go to work. We're going to have Brian Mercer and Tucker Davey up next, and it looks like they're headed to the main stage. So it won't be very long before we get back underway with our mainstream coverage. William Stuart, Nick Dichiria on the call there. Thanks for joining us. Well, we warned you, didn't we? It wasn't going to be very long. And look, these guys aren't messing around at all, folks. We're going to get right to it. Brian Mercer taking on Tucker Davey here in this one. William Stuart, Nick Dichiria alongside me once again. Of course, Tucker would walk to the left, you son of a gun.
Oh, boy. Here we go for some more fun action. And Jacob Saw jumping up to the board.
Saw, dude.
Saw, dude. How's it going, man? To get Chalk in here. I was actually talking with Tucker Davey before he knew who his opponent was going to be. And he said, I either get to play Levi Kranzel or Brian Mercer. And it's going to be one of my friends. And I looked at him and I said, well, what are you going to do? He's like, well, I beat him before. I'll have to beat him again.
That's exactly right. You're going to have to.
Now, it's without saying that both of these guys are some of the biggest supporters of the DPFL program, particularly Tucker Davey. I mean, for the Florida community, and him and I were actually talking about some of the locals that did not show up here that we kind of expected to see. One of those guys that truly just absolutely loves and believes in everything that comes with the program. Brian Mercer, of course, was one of, I believe, number one on Order of the Merit for the Champions event. So guys that have put the time in on the program. And I'll tell you, Tucker Davey's darts have gotten definitively better since he started playing DPFL. And I'm not saying DPFL makes you guaranteed to be the best, as 99 does go for Brian Mercer. But I will say that the competition that it led him to play consistently has definitively helped his game.
Yeah, definitely so. And look at that from Brian. I mean, 15 dart leg, just kick us off here. Can't go wrong there.
Yeah, can't get mad about that. Catch me outside. How about that? Mercer, 81 there, or 85 there. Scoreboard tricked me. These guys are neck and neck. But Tucker, that first dart, he didn't like how it left his hand. It looked like it was a little snatchy. But look how quickly he corrects, right? That is someone that just is like, hey, I know what I did. Time to fix it. And he executes from there.
Can we mention for a second?
Let's mention it.
If you're watching along,
I am.
and you haven't been down here,
I have been.
you need to.
I am.
The Reunion Resort takes amazing care of us. I will say the dart hall, I'll be completely honest, wish it was a little bit bigger, but it is amazing. The venue, though, I'm talking for hotels, for villas, the properties that you can rent, outstanding.
It truly, and you and I go to enough tournaments where we can say we've been to tournaments that don't feel like a vacation. This one feels like a vacation, even for us a little bit, and I live here.
And you can get, I think the price for a 3-bedroom villa is under $300 per night. So you think about that, you divide that up between your residents. I mean, if you got 3 people, $100 a piece, that's not bad for a hotel room, but you get a big villa. You get a kitchen, you get all the good stuff, pool to enjoy.
In Kissimmee, Florida, I mean, the heart of Disney and all the fun Disney tourist stuff as well. Beaches, the closest one, only about 40 minutes away. So you got a lot of stuff to do in Florida. And worst case scenario, you run into me somewhere. That's about the only bad thing that can happen in Florida.
So bring the family, enjoy it. That's for sure. Maddox Williams beats Michael Kleiner as he will advance into the next round, 3-1.
Another win for Maddox. Good stuff from him.
Just kind of keeping you updated on that side shot we were able to bring you. Trying to give you as much of this bonus action as we can.
Tucker was going for the trip 18 there. Kind of got away from him just a little bit. So Mercer will get the opportunity for 72.
2 16s for tops. Not quite.
Not quite. Sorry, that wasn't like a bit. 15 for double top, Tucker Davey.
15, double top. Sorry, that wasn't a bit. I'm just kidding. I couldn't help it.
Fair play. Fair play.
Boom! Tough acting than acted.
Well, now
gosh.
Mercer. Oh, he needs to work that dart in.
Yeah, you got to work it down significantly.
And that's too much significant.
That's it.
We're quitting after this one, guys.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Nikki.
I'm at my wits end, boys.
Oh.
Tucker Davey does sink the double 10 there.
Wow. Significance is at least. Mercer starting us off in leg number 3. Oh, boy. Can you tell it's day number too long with these guys, and I just cut to the board with nothing.
It's too long, Will.
Come on.
I think we've been through it.
Come on, Will.
I think we've been through it here. It's been fun. It's also just, I mean, we honestly are mentally drained in the sense that we've had so many high-quality matches where we were like, all right, let's all perform to the best of our abilities, because we want to do that every single time. And when you have some PDC players, some high-end CDC guys, it puts you on alert. And that's where the mental fatigue kind of comes into play a little bit, too, is just trying our best to make sure you guys get the best possible coverage of every single match that we get on our board here.
And Stephen Parks makes sure to accept the internet. Well, brother, let me tell you something, okay? You don't know what happened here. Definitely a misunderstanding is what happened, and we got it fixed once we found out what was going on with the internet and AV lines. So I'm happy that the resort was able to they cued us in on something. We were like, wait, what? And we worked on it together, and they were right on the ball to get us back and going. So, I mean, yeah, it was a hiccup, but at the same time, they, let's be honest, kicked ass to get it back up and going.
Yeah.
So,
No, you're absolutely right there. Well, don't get me wrong. It is frustrating and with the different environments and clients that can happen when we have these issues with the internet. But they were, even if the fixes were not working at first, they were actively trying to help us until we found the solution that works best.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It takes a lot to run a stream as well as a tournament because those devices, such as tablets, the tournament directors have to have the internet as well. And we bog down a lot of bandwidth when we stream, so that's got to be covered across the board.
Absolutely.
In order to do this. But
and Steven, we love you too, buddy. We do appreciate you pointing that out because we actually have been meaning to mention that.
Yeah.
We just wanted to jinx it while it was first fixed.
True,
So-
because we had a whole day where we were like,
Oh, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, so we totally understand. But, yeah, in all honesty, big shout-out to them for getting us up and running. Sarah, Joe, and Jan helped us out with that one. So, yeah, 3-person crew. Brian at 184, going to get the first look at a checkout unless he does something crazy, but it's guaranteed now.
Yeah, 94 on the score there. 188 can get brought down and absolutely pressure Mercer. How much will it get brought down, though, Tucker? 60 there to leave the 128. So Brian Mercer still out in front. Trip 18 for double 18. Trying to work in his doubles. And I believe pins it on the last one there.
Interesting way to go straight at. I mean, Tucker can hit that 147. So do you go the 20s? Do you try the bull route, or do you just stick with the 18s there? And I think his process was going, if I miss, I can go double-double.
Honestly, and this might be a controversial take, because I'm a big fan of having the guaranteed bull shot. I really do just naturally go trip 18, double 18 almost every single time. And I don't, and maybe as not often as I should, consider the fact that I can leave a guaranteed dart. It's a comfort shot for a lot of players, I think. It depends how you feel, though. You're absolutely right. Sometimes the guaranteed dart does all the magic.
Well, I think, let's be honest, the last 3-4 years has kind of changed on the aspect of how we're going for outs and things, more double-double finishes. So we're starting to see that climb in where maybe you could say that could be the proper play moving forward. You never know. But Mercer up to 1 here in this bonus event number 1.
Well, you know, the new route for 90 can go for the 18s. If you hit a single 18, double 11 for your second dart for double bowl. That'd be cool. That'd be crazy.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and that's why I stick to comms, because if I ever tried to throw that in a match, I would already make a hard-fought battle even worse. Mercer just going to continue to pluck away here. Jared Martin asking, why is it called bonus events? Do you know the answer to why? I mean, I know it is just a bonus. But
I think they just called it a bonus event in general. They maybe could have called it the ranked event or whatnot, but it's the top 64, players in the DPFL system that are heavily involved. So whether that be through leagues, through their ranked events, through the King of the Hill tournaments, all that stuff incorporates you, and you kind of earn a ranking through that, and that's what gets you involved in this bone event. So it's a little extra for participating that, maybe some of those heavy hitters don't get to participate in because they're just not as involved, where others do get that chance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a cool thing.
Because, like, for instance, the on-site qualifiers led to the actual winner this year
Yeah.
in the DPFL Championship event. So having an event like this that is truly just for the DPFL players, because a lot of people actually, I think this is one of the biggest misnomers about this event, is a lot of people think that you have to be super active in the DPFL program to play. Almost all these events, if you just have a Dart Connect average, you can play in. This is one of the few exceptions to that rule, and that's one of the things I saw a post talking about the Florida Dart community's turnout. And one of the things I want to say to all those players is you actually just don't need to qualify. You can just play. You can just play
Yeah,
for a lot. Well, you and I could have played today if we wanted to.
You just come on to Orlando, come on down, and you have a competition average with Dart Connect that will steer them into the right division for yourself, and then that's how you get going. I mean, Gian Van Veen, Jermaine Wadamina, Yella Klassen, those guys showed up to qualify for DPFL Championship, and then Jermaine Wadamina turned around and won it. Gian Van Veen took second. $9,000 is what those guys split up. So $6,000
Just in that event.
Yeah, that's what this can offer you. 60 here for Brian, 20 for Tops to get the job done.
No, not quite. And his doubles have been looking a little hairy. They've been going a little higher up than what you would expect for a player as talented as he is. And I'm curious what the mentality is there, but it looks like the Trip 16 does go.
That is 48, so 48-24 here. Oh. Does that hurt? I think so, as Brian will look to end it right here.
Get a 3-1 victory over Tucker Davey and put himself into the last 8. Does get it done. Brian Mercer besting Tucker Davey here, and Jacob Saw, our chalker, shout out once again, has been not afraid to step up on our stage and chalk quite a few games, so absolutely appreciated from the youth player from Canada.
Canada. All righty, folks, hang tight. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more coverage of this bonus event in just a moment.
greatest darting force on the planet. Bullseye. Oh, we got one. The fish has been landed. We know he's too good. The world number 1, world champion. Incredible stuff.
Let me tell you about A to Z Darts. We're a specialty dart store with over 10,000 different products. We create in-depth videos and blogs to help improve your game and showcase our products. We give helpful advice on how to practice darts, the fundamentals of form and mechanics, and how to make better decisions when purchasing your darting equipment. Whether you're brand new or a seasoned player, we try to provide fun and informative content. I'm Jen, the creative director for A to Z Darts. I've been playing for over 10 years and I've traveled the world competing in and promoting the sport. This is Will. He runs our live streaming company, USA Darts, and travels the globe as well to broadcast major darting events and interview PDC players alike. You'll find over 2,000 different sets of darts on our website. Guessing right now you're pretty interested in our resources? Learn about form, throwing mechanics, practice routines, scoring and grouping, checkout methods, cricket strategy, and much more. Visit a-zdarts.com to take advantage of our blog or follow us on social media at AZDarts today.
Another matchup here in our bonus event coverage. How about the young man himself, Maddox Williams, going to the streaming board? Kind of ironic that they did that one to us, honestly.
Well, he did it to himself. And how you do that, guys, is you just make it far in the tournament. This is a quarterfinal match between Maddox Williams and Brad Farley.
Well, we're definitely going to be hopping out there and telling these guys to go the other way around, to be honest.
It'd be nice if Jacob just did that job for us. You can tell Brad what I can tell you.
I think he just did.
I can tell you something about Brad. He's a Braves fan.
Jacob just told them, you guys need to walk to the right. Jacob, how about it, young man? Good job, Jacob. I'm sure I just clapped right directly into this mic, and it sounded atrocious.
Beautiful. No, it was fine. Kind of. All right, so the winner of this one gets Mike Gentry. Mike Gentry just took out Daniel Arico in the last match. Brad Farley just took out Paula Murphy 3-2.
Before you go any further, Jacob, you're hired.
Yes.
You're hired.
Full-time.
Full-time.
I know that you like darts and playing it, but let's just give up on that dream now.
Not anymore.
All right. And then David Jerkin, John Seinhofer out there playing on 39. They will play Brian Garland, whoever wins that one. And that will be the semifinal. So Maddox trying to make the semifinal. Look at this from Maddox. How about a maximum? Almost.
No. But say close.
Let me
close.
put on my glasses. And we'll go from there.
I will say, I mentioned it earlier. Maddox, one of those guys that he averaged 62 earlier in the round robin stages of that divisional matchup, but what he did do was average a 71 in a match and really played well in that matchup. I think he had a 17 darter and a 21 and a 22 darter. So
he's gotten so much improved as a dart player. And if you think just back to Las Vegas Open, right? Less than a year ago, less than 8 months ago, Maddox was really known for just chalking on the finals board and enjoying doing that. You know, you got all those great players that he just was happy to help out and chalk for. And now he's one of those top players kind of in his area and just improving his game. He's a better dart player than I've ever been. I can tell you that much.
Well, look at Brad here looking for 36 on the inside wire. As Maddox will not have an opportunity to check out, so that's all right, Brad. Come right back and take advantage if you can. Hey, you can't do that.
Those are mine.
You can't do that.
What you can't do is tell him what to do with my darts. All right. Gonna double 4. And goes inside of it. Guys, this is our first look at Brad Farley, but listen, you cannot play in this event and do well without and beat Paul Murphy if you play poorly, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's the third in averages, a 67 coming into this match. Brian Garland, a 73. Kevin Hawkins, 71, and then Brad. Paul is a 66. And then young Maddox is down there at a 48. So it's a tough test heading into this match.
Yeah.
That is for sure. Madhouse, though, for Farley. And bust it, and that's not a bad bust. But Max Williams going to look here. First start's all important. 80 left. Maddox is going to really love this opportunity of playing on the stream, honestly. It's really cool that we get him on here.
He's always a fan of being on the stream.
Well, he's been talking to us for a very long time about interviews and playing on the stream. It's cool that he's just earned it here.
Yeah.
We didn't pull a single string for this to happen. Just naturally what's occurring.
And for those that didn't
I
know,
love
we don't
Ever pull strings.
we don't run the bracket.
No.
Yeah, we don't do that. The reason we don't do that is because it causes more problems when you do that. So
We give suggestions to the tournament director sometimes. But
Yes.
but the tournament director most of the time ignores us or forgets what we said. Or ignores us and forgets what we said because that's the easiest way to deal with us.
the truth.
Oh, just in the other double. So Max getting a shot here at double 5. A open opportunity that Brad should have closed up a long time ago. This is a simple math equation. Just hit the double.
Take a closer look here. Maddox does use those. Oh shoot!
They have
I
a
just got
torpedo.
myself.
Yeah, they have a torpedo feel to them. It's almost like a
it's
balance.
no, it's Ryan. Shoot, can't. It's a mission dart. I know that. It's a mission sponsored player.
Ryan Meikle?
No. Give me a second.
One Mississippi.
Just, you stop it right now.
And double 1 goes in for Brad, and that's why they call it the Madhouse, Brad. It will drive you crazy. Maddox would go first. That's just a hold to throw at the end of the day for Brad. Leg number 2 here. This is the quarterfinal. Bonus event number 2. The best thing that Maddox can do right this second, because we know he can throw some great darts, is forget about this live stream. Forget about being on that straight.
1,000%.
Forget about every single dart and know what it means. He doesn't miss doubles like that. On the double 5, for him to throw the dart kind of at the top of the board, that's not where he misses a dart. Those darts were a hope and prayer there, and that's just not how he plays. This is how he plays. Good switch. 94 scored. And let's give a huge shout out to Jacob Sa doing the chalking and also refereeing a little bit for us, which, listen, is not easy to do, especially for being a kid, because you just told an adult how to act on that stage, and that's a weird thing to do. But it needed to happen, and this is shaky for Maddox. This is not how he plays darts typically. I can tell you that much. You don't have success in the tournaments that he plays in and typically throw a double 19 shooting for a treble. So he's just got to go over these nerves. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of time to do that.
Ryan Joyce.
Oh, that Ryan.
That's what I was thinking of. Ryan Joyce, not Ryan Searle. There's no way. He used those massive 30-something gram
I didn't
darts.
even guess that one.
Yeah, it's Ryan Joyce.
He was the one that I don't even think exists anymore because he beat Alex Spellman.
That's it. Yeah, the gentleman that beat Alex Spellman. They're good dart. 23-gram barrel for Maddox.
He's a very nice guy, and after the match, like I said,
Yeah.
he pulled Spellman aside and said, "You're going to Q school, right?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Good. I'll be happy to see you on tour next year."
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you play anywhere the way you just played that, there's no way you're not getting past Q school.
Yeah.
And he just didn't know that Spellman puts that as a goal to get there, but there's a difference between Spellman being like, yeah, this would be cool to achieve, and Spellman working his butt off to achieve that goal. And Maddox left the 99 after dart 1. That's actually one of the most unlucky spots you could throw that first dart.
That is unlucky there.
167 for Brad. Brad's played extremely well. The only thing that he did poorly was eventually leave Madhouse.
That's it.
Maddox might only get 1 dart now. No. 22 scored.
That's tough.
Leaves
Still.
48. Nope.
No, it's 38. I was going to say, he still has a look
I
here.
was like,
and then you
there's no math of
you
why that wouldn't work.
guessed me.
Guys, stop listening to me. Remember, I'm not a math teacher.
We're just on day 4, no sleep.
Bullseye.
And he went
Just
for it.
below the wire. So Maddox coming back with double 19. This is not a fun finish. Let's see if he splits it. No, he's firing right at it. His darts do not lay the same way as Ryan Joyce's do for him.
No, they do not.
That's going to make it tough to get over the top. Might have been better to split. Because you can tell he was not comfortable with that at all.
Especially that first one, too. After the first one, I would have thought about it. Even if it's risky, you only get 1 dart.
Just on the inside. Double 4. Brad is just on his way down the road to the Madhouse.
He's working that way once again. Does Maddox, he's going to attack again here on the 19s. Can he convert? He's working his way up. Yeah, he's thinking stepping over. I don't like that step over. I would have stepped the other way. That's just myself, especially with the way his dart lands.
Yeah.
That would have been my move.
And now, unfortunately, that's right there. Then he gets it in the bottom corner pocket. So Brad Farley does not get to the Madhouse. He stopped short.
And you see,
Maddox is not happy with the way he's playing right now. 2-0 lead, though, from Brad. And Maddox, dude, you're averaging more than you've averaged in the tournament so far. The problem is that you're getting shots and missing. And that's annoying.
Yeah, he's just having those moments where he's getting the look, but not being able to convert.
I like this, though. He threw down his darts, let himself be angry, got a drink, just like a PDC pro would do.
Let yourself, kind of
get over it.
Get over it. And you can see, unfortunate, though, only 29 on the board. And that could hurt with Brad starting off the way he did.
Yeah, again, Brad scoring has been fantastic. Finishing has been great. And I'm so excited to see new faces on our stream.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Is it nice to see the old faces? Yeah. But this is also great. And Brad has been very impressive. If he hones in on his finishing, his scoring is fine. His scoring is more than fine. I would call it good.
Maddox, he finds the triple 20 there. Finds another one, big 140.
Big 140 from Mad Dog Maddox.
Mad Dog, I like it. Slim Chalky is what he goes by, but I like the Mad Dog. I think he needs to go with it.
Oh, there's... Oh.
That was a little baby, by the way.
The baby. We're going to feel the baby. We're going to cuddle the baby. Mom, we got it. Come on down.
That thing's a cutie, yep. I'll tell you.
No, here's what I love, guys. Screenshots coming in of Maddox playing. I love it. It's really cool. It's really cool to see these things.
Definitely is.
Maddox has averaged 4-2 in a recent match with a 62 average.
Yep.
And had a look at the big fish. I know he's from Melbourne, Florida, so you got to be able to fish.
You got to be able to go fishing there.
And you have to be able to catch some big ones if you're in Florida, too. But Brad Farley on 104. This will be for the match. Oh, is he going to go bullseye?
Oh.
Go bullseye. No, he plays it smart.
Yeah.
Double 16. Pins it, though, with a 104 checkout. Maddox can't be upset at that one, and that's why he's not. He claps his hands and gets the job done. So Maddox, listen, you were on the live stream. You get beat 3-0, but guess what?
You can see
You were on the live stream and averaged 55.5, man.
You saw him kind of go,
He averaged 55.
Yep, exactly. But he knows he's capable of more.
Right.
Shrug it off. Experience on the stream, that can go a long way for Maddox in the long run. So
great kid. Great to see him on the board. And Brad, very impressive. Brad's now a semifinalist.
yes, he is. Folks, don't go anywhere. We got more action coming your way as we conclude our coverage here of the bonus event brought to you by DPFL. William Stuart, Sean Green here. Don't forget, USAdarts.live has you covered with all our events for the year. Go check out what we have on the schedule and so much more, including some of our merchandise and whatnot. So stay tuned. More coverage coming your way.
Meow.
Next. Alrighty, here with Joey Lanall at the DPFL Live Event in Kissimmee, Florida. How's it feel to be down here once again, Joey?
It's awesome. I love coming down here. It's a vacation. I also get a tournament out of it, stay an extra day, do some parks. I like being down here for a week, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's a good vacation spot. I mean, a couple golf courses if you fancy that, but even better, some great darts, some great competitors here this weekend too.
Oh yeah, you got some PDC players here. You got people that aren't PDC players, but they come overseas. It's good competition here.
Yeah, definitely. You got some incredible Dutch players here, including one of your new teammates, Jan Van Veen. Good to see him in person, I'm sure.
Yeah, I played him in the development tour a year ago around now, and yeah, he wasn't nice to me. He beat me pretty nice on the board, but good guy. I like seeing him.
Well, let's talk about darts here recently. You've been, of course, doing the CDC tour and just kind of the circuit in general. Where do you think your game's at right now?
It's like a roller coaster, up and down, but I feel like I'm on the upswing right now. Having some really good games, having some bad games, but overall, I feel like I'm up there playing with the best.
You're only, 22 years old, if I'm not mistaken?
22.
A long way to blossom in this game. Where do you think your game can go?
I think I go to the top. I feel like I have a nice natural throw, and just got to keep working at it. And a few years from now, I think I could be the best in the room.
Well, we've already seen the success in the Continental Cup side of things, the CDC level tournaments. I mean, you're right there with some of the best in the country.
Oh, yeah. I mean, playing all these guys, I've beaten them all at least once, so it's nice to see, come onto the board again and play them, and I know I could beat them. So.
Well, moving forward to this Red Dragon sponsorship, newly formed sponsorship here, how does that feel to have a company like Red Dragon just bring you on and with all the big boys and girls they have?
It's awesome. They sponsor so many great players. They have world champions on the roster. And just a big company. They do so much for darts, and being able to be part of that is awesome.
I know down the road you probably work with Lee maybe on a barrel or so. You excited for that process?
I'm excited for everything that they give me. There's sky's the limit with them. They're awesome. So I'm excited for everything in the future.
Well, they've been definitely attacking this North American market. You've seen some of the soft tip professionals they've been bringing on, as well as Jules, you, Adam Savada. Just a good team behind you there.
Yeah, some good players, some CDC winners, some PDC players. It's nice to be in a company with them, and I'm looking to be there in a few years.
Definitely so. Well, Joey, thanks for taking a moment with us here at the DPFL Live Event. Good luck this weekend, and congrats on the sponsorship once again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
joined by Ryan Watson here at the DPFL Live Event 3, and your amateur winner against Chattanooga in the finals and what was a very dramatic affair on the board. First off, a lot of people are probably wondering who you are. So can you tell us how long you've been playing darts, what got you into the game, and how you got here today?
Yeah, so about 3.5 years of playing darts in general, outside of just like being at a bar randomly and throwing bar darts, I guess. I had a lot of friends in the scene back in Alabama that played, and they had a guy that was actually moving away, and they just kind of randomly asked if I wanted the spot. And yeah, I was just like, I've never played, sure. And then like that first season was actually I was like the 501 guy, and I was the third slot or the second slot, so I was always catching like the worst players, but I won every game that season. And I was just like, I can't go back now. So it was just like a sickness from then on. 3.5 years, and then I moved to Florida, and then about 2.5 years ago, and it's just been growing ever since. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like we said, the finals against Chattanooga in there, it was a high-pressure situation, but you ended up coming out on top, getting a $1,000 first-place prize. I mean, is this the biggest event you've won? I mean, what was your thoughts in that moment? I mean, talk us through it a little bit here.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling a lot of pressure because I didn't think I'd get to that point. So I'm the kind of guy where if I'm like, there's a certain point where if I get past it, I'm just like, this is all gravy now. Like, if whatever happens next is extra. So even in that game, obviously you step up there on the stage and it's like, this is a whole new thing, and so you're a little nervous at first. And I actually like the stage more because there's no people around. You feel like you're in a little vacuum. You don't know you're on camera unless you think about it, which I wasn't. But no, it was less pressure and more like, I don't know. I just took the pressure off myself a little bit. It didn't seem like he was feeling the pressure either. It was just like maybe the missing some doubles got to him, and I wasn't missing that many. So, it wasn't a great game, but like it was a grinder. It's just you got to win those. Like I think, yeah.
Well, you did win it, in fact, and
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to go into an event hall like this where there's PDC Tour card holders, CDC Tour card holders, people that have done amazing things at the top of the dart game for a very long time. What does it feel like to be competing in the same room as them, get a chance to meet a lot of these darting idols?
Imposter. But it's just really cool. Like, it doesn't feel real. Like, there's no other sport where you can just like, you can't just like go play basketball with LeBron, like that's not to say that's exactly what this is, but when you walk into a space and there's like Jim Van Veen and Matt Campbell and then Jermaine Watermain over there, these are guys that I watch every day. Like, not every day, but when they play, I watch them. Like, some of my favorite players. And so yeah, that feels weird. It feels weird that I'm just like, I just drove down the road and then here I am with PDC players and I can talk to them and play with them. It's really weird. Yeah.
And I mean, you're also very undercover looking in the sense that you have the t-shirt on and the ball cap and everything. Obviously winning the amateur event, what's your next aspirations? Are you going to try to get maybe a jersey sponsor? Are you going to try to continue to keep grinding it out, or where do you see yourself going for the next step of your dart game?
I don't know. I don't think about that. Like, that feels not likely or possible. But it's something I want to be really good at. And that's all I really care about, is just getting better at it. And, I most of the time I play every day. I practice every night at home. Like, even if it's 30 minutes, I'm going to throw a few darts. So I think just like, it's less about what I want to do and just like how good I want to be. I want to be one of those guys that's up there, averaging 80s. I want to have those 100 average games. I don't know. I want to see what's possible, I guess, is all I really care about.
Well, we're excited to see what's possible as well, and we appreciate you taking the time to chat with us here. As again, you gave us a great performance on the stage, and it's looking bright for the future of Florida darts, with Ryan Watson being a welcomed addition to it. And we wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Thanks.
Live here at the Dart Hall from the DPFL Live Event number 3, William Stuart, Sean Green here on the call for this weekend's action. I got to tell you, what an epic weekend this has been.
Yeah, it's absolutely great. I mean, how can you be sad in a place as immaculate as this? This Dart Hall is beautiful. You know what? The players have been complaining throughout the weekend that it's been a little bit cold, but I'm feeling a little bit of heat where I'm currently standing.
I'm telling you, it's a little bit warm.
Yeah,
it's a little bit warm.
Will, last night we had a great DPFL championship. Let's talk first how amazing that tournament was. And the setup for it, DPFL did a great job. The qualifiers on Friday night brought in Jermaine Wadamina, brought in Gian Van Veen, and then they make the finals in the event. $9,000 goes to those countrymen, $6,000 for first, which was Jermaine Wadamina. Second place, Gian Van Veen takes home $3,000, pays for the trip.
Yeah, and that's pretty significant when you come in as a qualifier and earn that right. Just hoping to get into the mix and then win the title. That's got to feel pretty good, especially to get a little money for the vacation trip over here as well. It's got to feel good.
Yeah, it's a work trip for us, but vacation for them. And that being said, let's get to today's action. Right, Saturday. It's a big day of events. What do we have in store for the players?
So tonight we have the Premier Division playoffs.
Yeah.
Right now they're actually in the round robin stage and they're duking it out on, the boards. Dark Connect is where you can find that action. But let me tell you, this is going to be a good Premier Division playoffs. I must say, there's going to be some great players in the field. I mean, your Leonard Gates, and so much more.
Absolutely.
I can't even rattle off all the players in this because they're just so impressive.
Yeah, honestly, it is a surprise to us every event that happens here, the names that are in this and how just big they are, right? We have 4 PDC pros here in this dart hall this weekend. The 2 Dutch players. We have a former world champion and Jelle Klassen here as well. Matt Campbell's here, Canadian #1. It's really cool to see this dart hall. Keegan Brown mentioned yesterday in the comms that this is the best field he's played against outside of a PDC event. That's really, really high praise for this DPL event.
It really is, and it just speaks volumes to where we're at with the game here in North America. I must say,
it's growing for sure.
It really is, and Steve Brown spoke of that yesterday with me, where he was in 2006 to where it is now. He says just volumes. It used to be a buy for the first round player that you get the North American, and now it's not. It's definitely not.
And that's exciting for us, right? We don't actually do anything for that, but we're going to pretend like we do. We've just gotten into this at the right time, and to see the growth that we've had for North America, it's led to some great success and a lot of great things for us to be able to cover, like this DPFL event.
Definitely, and let me tell you, folks, you don't want to turn the channel. This is going to be exciting action throughout, so stay with us as we bring you the action from the Premier Division playoffs. Folks, William Stewart, Sean Green, we look forward to bringing you the action.
Have a great one, guys.
Alrighty, here with Mr. Steve Brown. What are you, the head of the JDC? How would you consider that?
I think my official title is chairman and founder.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's nice to Alrighty, guys. Looks like we got another match coming your way here in just a second. I decided to cut that short with Steve Brown. Give you a few interviews there as we kind of break the monotony. So these guys will take a couple warm-up darts and they'll get ready for their next matchup. I believe this will be a semi-final matchup coming your way here next. So stay tuned. We'll be right with you.
Here we go back for another round of some great action here on our dartboard. My name is Nick Dichiria, joined by Will Stuart. DPFL Live Event 3, Kissimmee, Florida Reunion Resort, and all the other things I'm probably supposed to say. Got a good one here. David Jerkin and Brian Garland. Looking forward to a high-octane match on our dartboard for our first semifinal that we're going to see for bonus event number 2 here. And we saw Garland do a pretty good performance against Kevin Hawkins. Let's see if he's able to replicate it and see what David Jerkin brings to the table.
Yeah, we certainly did see that. And we're seeing this bonus event number 2 coverage once again. I will say that the bonus event number 1 has some awfully good competitors in it. Surprised that we're getting this lineup. But at the same time, I think it's nice that we're kind of getting a good mixture of players here. So David Fathom and Brian Mercer. Oh, wait. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, David. They did change that around. Okay, so David Fathom will play either Alex Spellman or Joshua Wilson. That will be a streamed match next. And then you got Brian Mercer there on the bottom-hand side that will take on Norman Madu. And that action is already in progress. So what will happen is we'll get, I'm guessing, both finals.
Alex Spellman does finish his matchup there 3-0 over Joshua Wilson. So David Fathom, Alex Spellman will be that matchup.
That'll be our next matchup, and then we'll get the finals of both events, I'm pretty sure. So
that's awesome. And listen, a little bit of bonus coverage, a little bit of bonus starts. Can't get mad about that.
Looks like 3-4 matches coming your way here.
Yeah, having fun with it indeed. And let me tell you, I didn't know about this whole wacky madness thing going on with the dartboards. I've never heard of that before. Guys, well, Sean and Will were on the mics. I went to go grab some darts, and I went and threw for a bit. I got about 1.5 legs in before I realized that the entire number ring was rotated out of position by several numbers.
Yeah, so DPFL Darts offers a pretty cool, unique thing called Twisted Madness, and this can be played. Well, it's going to be played here live tonight, but they also do it online as well, and it's kind of a cool little blind draw option that they provide. But what you do is you rotate the board to a certain segment, and that's how you play. So the 20 could be where the 4 is, the 20 could be where the 3 is, the 20 could be where the 8 is, and that makes it a little bit interesting. Because I was just talking to somebody, and I said I would be tempted to go bull here, just because I know what I'm going to score every time, and chances are I'm probably going to fawn better than those other segments.
Yeah, depending on how that rotation works. And funnily enough, so I was obviously scoring as if it was in its normal position, but it goes to show when you have a good mentality and you're just throwing darts and you're kind of just focused, then it doesn't really matter a lot of the other circumstances environmentally speaking, right? I didn't even realize until the second leg that I was throwing on a twisted board, and I threw a 71 in the first game and a 75 in the other. I'm just saying. Just saying. And then I proceeded to throw in the third leg 5 41s in a row, which is actually impressively hard to do when you're going for not that.
Yes. And, yeah, it's going to be unique. It's going to be kind of fun, that Twisted Madness event, just because I think all the boards are twisted differently. So that makes it even more difficult when that's happening. Righty, David here. Going downstairs.
Doesn't get himself to a finish yet, so 207 will be the opportunity to get brought down. And Garland, what he did do particularly well in that 3-2 win was the fact that he had some very timely finishes, just these moments where you blink in and all of a sudden he just took out and out you weren't expecting him to grab in that given moment, just with the momentum of the match. Right there, does find a way to set himself up. 96 on the score.
David's outside looking in here with Brian, the first look at a checkout.
And then first place for this event, $600.
Yeah, it's pretty good for event number 2.
Yeah, and $300 for second. Top 4 where these guys are at 150 bones. Not too bad.
Yeah, we said it earlier that event number 1 is a little bit higher on the price pool. I think it's $800 for first, and they're just giving a little bit more to those top 32 players.
Incentivizing participation.
Yeah, exactly, and that's it.
You can see Garland just good recovery on the second dart there. Finds the first one at the 5. Goes ahead and finds the treble, but then kind of waves that one off, dropping into the 11 there. You need the 11 out of the way first, Brian, not on the third dart. Jurgen was just making sure that it wasn't inside the 19. Really wanted the 145. And right now, I mean, averaging a little bit lower than where he would prefer to be, but it's just about getting settled. And when you get up on that stage, it is a difference in feel compared to where you were playing before and what was going on prior. Three for double 16.
That would be the route to go because 17, 19, anything around there still pretty much leaves you with an option.
Exactly.
Well, not the triple bits, but there you go.
And his timely finishes. That's
Yeah.
what his scoring has obviously left some to be desired, but his finishing has been pretty incredible. And you're right. We were talking earlier about the 17-3 as options for a wire shot after leaving yourself on 25. So, I mean, listen, opportunities for where you can plan around your miss is one of the best things you can do to immediately start raising your game. And then you can start taking the higher risk gamble shots when you're either in a must-hit situation or once you're at a higher level game where you're more comfortable hitting those shots. There's so many times where I just tell people just play the 10-6 wire. You're on 46, your hand's shaking, you're nervous, you know. There's opportunities all around the board to kind of take advantage of some potential misses.
Trying to come up with another one. Does not. So 85 for David, but an unfortunate round the last go for Brian, to be honest.
Yeah, not what he drew up in the plan there.
I would say so.
Think he envisioned just a tad bit more, but still going to not be phased and carry that over into the next round. One thing I will say, for the most part, all the players that we've seen on stage throughout this event even, pretty composed in general. Not really too many people that are just like up there throwing every 3 darts, being utterly disgusted at everything they're doing. Or maybe too over the top, and yeah, that dart might be just barely hanging in.
Go up there and blow it, it would fall out.
Yeah, you see when he's pulling his darts out, it actually started to fall.
Mm-hmm.
That was barely in the bed. And you can see it's about time for another rotation almost, as that 20's been lit up over there. You can see it's already been rotated once as the logos are upside down.
I think a lot of that was for the stadium lighting, so they wanted to rotate it. And they'll probably rotate it one more time, I'm guessing tonight, for Sunday's events. We will have a pretty big day of coverage tomorrow, as we'll have Challenger 1 and Challenger 2 begin at 9 a.m. You have Women's Division and Division 1 beginning at 9 Eastern as well. So I'm guessing most of our coverage will be of Division 1 playoffs and in the Women's Division playoffs, and we'll sprinkle in some of that Challenger 1 and 2. Then we also have Division 3, Division 2 playoffs, and then singles 501 open with some mixed doubles added. So, yeah, good day of coverage coming your way tomorrow.
Yeah, good stuff indeed. And I'm excited to get the ladies division, hopefully a couple extra matches there, because the ladies that we've had on the stream, Kira Taylor having a great performance and winning her match against, I believe that was Ben Goddard, right? That was that one. So I love the ladies that we've gotten a chance to see on our main stage. I know that is always fun when they're around. The ladies, the youth players, we're getting a little bit of everything out here. The Dutch players, the Canadians, the Guamanians.
Danny Baggish. Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the guy I was thinking
That's the guy.
Jerkin needs to try to find something. Needs another one of those darts. Kind of jerks it away there in the last.
You had to. I knew it was just a matter of time before you threw that one out at us, didn't you? What a real jerk move you just did.
Yeah, you're not lying. Garland's going to try to Garland this moment.
You know what else I like? Jerk chicken.
Hey. Me too. I think it's about dinner time. Did have a lovely Jersey Mike's sub earlier. Not sponsored, but trying to be. Jersey Mike's, give us a call.
Anybody, just
Actually,
let
just
us know.
just anybody. We're at
any big company that can throw us some dollar bills.
any sponsorship, you know.
We'd be happy.
Rogaine.
Okay, well, Sean definitely would
Yep.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Maybe Manic Panic for my hair dye, please. Please. Garland here, 1-3-8, and wanting us to talk about anything else when he watches us back,
Yes.
probably.
Yes, and he's kind of giving himself chances here, which is always nice. Just will David take it out before he gets a look?
Yeah, and it would be great for Garland to get that 2-0 advantage, but right now he's basically fighting against his own throw as David's really kind of taking control of this leg so far, but it's only control if he gets that 68, meaningful control, that is.
We will see. Triple 20 the play here. Now down to 8 or 16.
The wire shot.
Double 16 for the leg.
Does get the checkout there. 1-1 in bonus event number 2, and boy, oh boy, it's going to be a little bit of a back and forth affair. Corey Turner saying, maybe get sponsorship for the Hanish Shuffle. Matt Eisman saying, I've been on a huge jerk chicken kick, LOL. So there we go, guys. If you guys are hungry, go eat. And Steve Park saying, go to Delmonico Steakhouse. That's right by SeaWorld. Fun fact.
Good old pricey steakhouse for sure.
Well, I mean, USA Darts is going to get a
Okay.
sponsorship first,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then we'll go ahead.
Okay. That you're about to say, whoa, Will Stewart.
Yeah, I remember when you and I went.
Update, they did move that match for Fatima and David.
Oh,
or
did they?
Fatima and Spellman, sorry. They moved-
To go ahead and keep it going.
I think it's just keep moving. So that I'm guessing we'll get that matchup next for the finals of
And Brian
event
Mercer
number 1.
in the finals. 3-1 over Norman Madu. I remember one time I went to Wisconsin with Will Stewart over here, and he said, hey, we're going to take you out for a nice steak meal, and took me to the North Country Steak Buffet.
Oh, dude, North Country. Don't get me started.
Let me tell you, not Delmonico's. But
Definitely not a Delmonico's.
certainly the best $13 steak all you can eat that
I
I've
was
ever
about to
had.
say, $13 all you can eat steak, brother.
Yeah,
Let me tell you.
you can't even taste the rubber after the first two.
I wouldn't quite call it that. Bro. Come on now.
Honestly, the hardest part of that was the buffet challenge with me and Porky there, going plate for
This,
plate.
this
Say it.
guy,
Say it.
this
Go
guy
ahead.
looked Porky dead in his eye, and Porky is Steve Hilger, for those that don't know, and says, I'm going to match you plate for plate. You don't want to match Porky plate for plate.
Can I just say, I got 7 plates in to that eat off with Porky before. And honestly, I tapped out because I was dying, but B, because Will's like, come on, you really are 7 plates in. We got to go. We got to pack up our gear, which is fair because that was taking a long time to get through 7 plates.
It definitely was. We're willing down to this point here. We're still 1-1 in this matchup. Kind of tight-knit affair. 281-263, as you can see on our scoreline. Near identical averages in 62-4-4 and a 65-4-3.
Yeah, not really a breakaway for either one of these players here. Trying to find that moment where they can really separate themselves from each other, because the moment that one starts to get away, the other one just kind of catches right back up. Garland's just all over the top. He's switching downstairs. Does find 99, so leaves himself at the 164.
Yeah, smart math there to leave yourself a checkout opportunity.
Now David's going to have to make sure to leave himself a checkout as well, but it depends on the quality of said checkout here. Great last dirt on that. He had to find the cover. He covered that bed almost entirely and just knocks it through. And you know what I like about David? Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you what I like about David. I love that he has just one of those old school dart setups, right? It pretty much a standard, slightly knurled barrel. He has the pentathlon flights at the very end, probably some duraluminum shafts.
It's similar to Robin Curry. Robin Curry's been using the same set of darts most of her career, and she's reluctant to change. She's reluctant to change.
And it just shows that, while there's the perfect equipment for everybody out there, there's nothing wrong with what you already throw. It's about just being comfortable at the end of the day.
Correct.
75.
Be comfortable in your setup.
2 darts in hand, 75.
Is he going 25 bull? No, he should go trip 17.
25?
Oh, he's going 25 bull.
Hit that bull.
Come on,
Do
boy.
it now. Oh, just going there. I love it. I always
not?
I love the 25 bull there.
Why not?
I feel confident in hitting the bull. These guys are definitely in the capability of being able to hit that bull pretty consistently.
68 here for Brian. Standard route that we mentioned last time, 28 or 16 for 32.
You can see he aimed right at that wire, too. That one got away and was a little bit uncharacteristic compared to how he hit it so well last time. But, yeah, that dart clicked right at the wire. There was no doubt that he was okay with either one of those outcomes.
And see, I could have leaned towards maybe that was trying to go for the 8, and maybe it just dropped a little bit. But either one, it's okay. You still got to look.
And they're good looks, right?
Yeah. But
So-
it can if you do. He didn't take a step back or kind of deceive him or anything. So either one, he just went for it.
Double 9.
Oh,
Did have to take the extra moment. He did not intend to obviously trip the 7. And I like the recomposure. I mean, those weren't bad thrown darts at that. Garland for a break a throw here. Over to the 8s.
gets it done. 2-1.
Yeah, at match point. And David, you can see just wiping the face with the towel, taking a deep breath, and knowing that his opponent's going to get a couple darts in here, and then he's going to go back up and try to turn up to the best he can. Sky Johnson asks, I just tuned in. Would you tell me what time the stream starts tomorrow?
Probably around 9. Ooh. 9. But no, we're doing 10 a.m. We're doing 10 a.m. Eastern. Sorry, we begin at the event start at 9 a.m. Eastern, but we will start at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Well, there you go. And plus, we have a lot of stuff to cover tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of different events going on. It is not going to have these like random mid-session breaks, at least if they do happen, for not as long. A lot of fun stuff.
The only break we'll probably take is to kill the stream and kick it back on Facebook.
Yeah, or to kill Sean and put it back on Facebook. One more of those for Garland. How about a 140?
Oopsies.
I believe we just saw Matt Campbell do a little skip in the background here.
I believe that was a skip to my loo back there. Hello.
Oh, my goodness. What are those guys doing over there? Whenever you get Matt Campbell and Kevin Luke standing next to each other, just walk away.
There's a lot of people with that. Once you start getting around to more and more and more, you realize at a certain point, nah.
Yeah, you got to see who's with who, right? For me, when I'm with Scott Hanisch, I'm looking for tripping hazards, personally.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
When I'm standing next to Sean, I just let him do all the talking.
I figured, dude. I mean, yes. I don't think he's ever going to live the fall down.
He shouldn't.
I think they're talking about next year's jersey being a Scott Tua. Don't trip on that thing.
Trip on that thing. Let me tell you, curious of, I will say, I wonder if the meme's going to be around by next year. But I know also the dart players, they just take a meme and they run with it forever.
Yes, yes. Brian out ahead here, and that is dangerous for David as he's on the outside looking in. And look at the average here, 71.42 for Brian. That's no slouch.
Neither one of these guys are slouching. And in fact, they're continually improving as this goes on, which just shows, hey, just getting settled on the stage a little bit and then trying to execute to the best of the ability. 82 is the lead for Garland, and I absolutely love the position he's in. Jurgen going to have to find a big one to get himself back in position. He's all over the bottom. Not a bad go, but obviously 97 just doesn't enough here. 82 will be the look. Bullseye for double 16. Trip 14 for double top.
Ooh.
I like it.
Hello. 17 tops for the win. In a finals berth.
Oh, good look at it there. 198 means it can't go for David, so Brian will have a return here. He might get this 3-1. He might not. Depends on where that winning double lands and when the winning double lands, whether it be from Garland or Jerkin. $45 there for David. Brian Garland, double top for the win. Over to the 10. He kind of dropped that one a little bit low.
Yeah, you saw him shake it off, and now he knows he's got work to do. I almost consider 2 or bust here.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you're going to shoot that 10, you have to take a super conservative approach, go real high. The last thing you want to do is leave yourself on 5. Your opponent's on 153.
That's what I was thinking. You got the 2-1 lead. Go ahead and bust. Hit the 2. Leave yourself at least a couple opportunities. Now you got to scramble around.
Oh, and David got a little excited after the first start. He really wanted to just go ahead and take it out regardless. But, yeah, now you're right. This is a little bit of a scramble here. 1 for double 2. If you're cool, 3 for double 1.
Oh.
3 for double 1.
Hello.
Taking that moment of composure. It's an important dart. And then work and now you can play this dart aggressive. And he does find it there. Brian Garland, 3-1 over David Jerkin there in a good recovery. Trip 1 for double 1.
And what's funny is David didn't even look. He just saw the corner of an eye and turned around and said, yep, good shooting, man. I knew it was going in. So there you go. Semifinal, as Brian Garland will be a finalist in bonus event number 2. I do want to just double check here. We'll do a little refresh and back and forth.
Looks like David Fathom and Alex Bowman still playing their semifinal currently.
There you go.
And Mike Gentry is awaiting Brian Garland in this final for Super Cup, not bonus event 2.
So we may get that one first. We'll find out, folks. Hang tight. We'll be right back with some finals of the bonus events in just a second as Sean Green screams like a little girl in the background. I apologize. We'll be right back.
Bye, guys.
Hello, everyone. It's
Welcome back.
finals time here for bonus event number 2.
Sean Green.
Nicholas Dichiria here.
And we got
Just
a great
kidding.
final. Mike Gentry taking on Brian Garland. I don't know about anything else except for the fact that I love that beard. It's a good one.
Definitely is a good one, isn't it?
It's not Wrath Epic, but it's getting close.
He's trying. He's trying.
All right, so Gentry getting us started. Start off with a ton, and then immediately throws exactly what I would throw after a ton. A big fat nothing, which is why we need to talk about how the perfect blind draw opportunity has occurred for me, and I missed it completely. The twisted blind draw that's going on in the venue. So the board's rotated, and it's not rotated the same every board, like a Australian version where it's just upside down. It could be 2 over from where it is. It could be 3, and they are rotating just the ring. They're not rotating the board with the ring. So you could have a 20 segment that actually looks green and white.
Yep.
So it even messes with your mind that way. Jim Widmeyer,
Yeah.
first 3 darts, threw a ton, but it was rotated 1 over. So it ended up being 5 because he did not know that it was twisted until after those first 3 darts.
Oh, really?
So he wasted his first round and getting a 5 because he thought that the 20s were where they were supposed to be. Because if you're a dart player that plays all the time, you don't look at the number rings.
What did he do when he realized it?
He apologized greatly to his partner because they ended up losing that leg.
He wasn't upset that he was like, what the heck is this?
No, and it's also 301.
Yeah.
So-
301 single in, single out.
It's single out?
I believe it's single out.
Bro,
I heard
dude.
it was single out.
I would have won this blind draw. Because here's the deal. That's the type of blind draw that Kevin Luke goes out in the first round. He did, by the way.
Yeah.
And
And by the way, I heard that rumor. I'm not 100% positive.
It's true.
Okay.
It went out in the first round. And
No, I'm talking about the single out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not joking.
Ooh.
Little 80 there. Mike Gentry on 100. So let's look in here. This is the final. First of 3 legs of bonus event number 2. Again, an event that's created entirely just to reward players for playing DPFL leagues and to thank them for being here.
Yep.
It's really cool. It's a very cool bonus event to have because it's still, you have to be qualified for it. But you still have an opportunity to be extremely successful and win a lot more money. More money than Storm and Norman won in the 50-50 earlier. Must be nice, Norman. It's annoying. How can you be – you're lucky because you got those good looks. Then, on top of that, 32. One more dart left. Hits it. It's a 1-0 lead for Mike Gentry. And great start from both players. You're the number 1 player in Guyana, and you win the 50-50? Cool.
Show off.
But I'm very excited for him. He's a great guy. So you notice he was the one who tried to help catch Scott Hanish in the background.
Yeah.
Hossy Hicks let him go.
A good 3 or 4 feet back, but still tried to at least
It's
help
not single
out.
out, by the way.
It
But
isn't.
that's okay.
Okay. That's why I heard a rumor. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure on that, which would be a little bit goofy for him to do it.
Yeah.
But with it being twisted, not sure.
Exactly. It's really, really fun to just imagine the success I would have in that tournament. Because I would still shoot at the 20 segment where I thought the 20 segment would be. But every time I hit the 5, oh, that's a win-win.
I told everybody I'd be kind of tempted to go for bull.
Yeah, because you're a good dart player. I'll say that to your face. You're a
No.
good dart player. This is a tournament where good dart players go to die, and bad dart players who have a mantra of if you're going to miss by 2, can be very successful.
I don't know.
Thank you for the argument.
I think it's
No matter what, it's a late tournament that you have to really be mentally strong for.
yeah.
Because every time you have a double opportunity, you have to look around the entire board to find that double. Because it's all backwards.
Mind you, there is still 1 blind draw that will take effect, and that'll be tomorrow night. So if you're looking for some action on a Sunday, come on down.
Or up. Or left or right.
Yep.
but don't come from a diagonal.
Great shots from
weird.
Gentry.
Yeah, I mean, the setup play from him, his scoring's great.
Solid. I mean, look at the 80.10 right now.
Yeah. Nothing to sneeze at.
We keep the same format. Best 3 out of 5 here.
Yeah, just looking at the averages from both players. Gentry coming in, he threw a 70 in the top 16 against Ray Niceball to beat him 3-1. And then he threw a 61 against Daniel Orico, but then came back with a 74.5 against Brad Farley. I know you saw that. And then Brian Garland, 67, 77.5, 68, and a 64. So you're going to have to – Mike's going to have to be at the top part of that, and he is. And Brian's still staying consistent, pretty much where he has been this entire tournament. He's going to have to start picking it up, though, because Mike is off and running way out in front in this leg that is against the throw. But that 140 will go a long way. Shanghai for a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, not going to go here. All you can do is try to set up now and hope Brian can't collect on the 104. He will attack the 20s rather than the 16s or another route.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, however you fancy. As long as you count correctly and try to bring forth your best effort. But 92 for Mike. Looking for a 2-0 advantage here. We'll see what he goes for now. Yeah, just 2 16s for tops.
I like that route, and I like the thought process in it because he was completely blocked in the first start. Double 8 for 1-1 scoreline. Oh, and he falls into the wrong double. That's a tough one.
That is very tough, especially with Gentry sitting on tops.
I really like his setup that he has on his darts.
Those Colts. Those target Colts.
Yeah, those are beautiful. And the flights with them, too. Just chef's kiss. Double 8 does go in that time. 1-1 scoreline. Opportunity giveth and opportunity taketh. Just to hold a throw, though, Will.
That is all it is. Just a hold.
HOLD.
And not the best of turns for Mike there. Only 21. Good opportunity for Brian.
Yeah, 85. He has an interesting release at times on his darts. It has a little, and I'm cringe to say this, Matt Graff-ish, like twister released on it sometimes, but then sometimes it does not. Great cover shot. He makes it look easy sometimes. 97. He's scoring great. Now attacking the throw of Gentry.
That he is. And continue to do it here. There's scrap another leg. Break the throw of Mike.
Yeah, he's starting to feel good.
If you can do that, you'll have the throw in the last leg. Or the fourth leg.
I love the switch, too. Listen, I wouldn't have the wherewithal or what's the word I'm looking for? If I'm going to a chance to shoot a 180 on the live stream, I'm going to shoot a 180 on the live stream.
Come on, English teacher, English.
Like if I have 182 left, I'm going to shoot the 180. If I have 180 left and the first two darts go on the treble 20, I'm going to shoot for the 180.
It is pretty funny. We got a guy in our local hometown. He's called the Head Lizard. is his nickname.
That's
Old school dart player. And the reason why they call him head lizards is they used to call the double one lizard out.
Okay.
So he was that's why he was the head lizard. Well, I took him on in league one time, and I couldn't help it. 182, 180 for double one. Why not? Why not?
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. He just chuckled. He said, "That's the only way you can do it. That's the only way you got to do it."
There you go.
Yep.
So that was a weird flex, but okay.
It's probably one of my. I say it because
buddy.
I got a pin. It's
That's
probably
actually
one of my
really cool.
most coveted pins.
Did you give you one?
It was a head lizard pin.
That's
and
awesome.
They only had a certain. I think I got one of the last ones.
That's
so,
really cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Well, shout out to him
60 left.
for a break of throw and a 2-1 lead after, honestly, Gentry was a double hit away from being up 2-0. It's a beautiful, beautiful part of this game, Will. It can turn on a millimeter. And Gentry can't even take this out, so all he can do is set up, and he needs to find something that's going to get that lower. Does so. 104 if he comes back. Double 10. And you can see the averages have completely shifted, too.
That they have. Now he's
Double
gonna
4.
Go up.
And that's outside. But it should be a great marker. Those are like the Phil Taylors.
What'd you say?
Those are Phil Taylors?
Those are target blights.
Okay. So, Phil Taylors. Thanks.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. It's the same company that he plays for. It looks
Different-
like a
different
very
ba-
similar shape.
Different barrel. Just letting you know.
It was a fatty, fat torpedo. That's Phil Taylor
Double 4.
in a nutshell.
Double 2 remaining for Brian.
I love this.
He gets it. That's in the corner pocket. You can tell Brian has a little eyesight issue. He's definitely got an eyesight. There's been numerous times where he's caught himself kind of glancing up, going up, making sure that he's correct, or did he actually hit?
I have noticed, and I'm sure you're starting to notice too, especially if you're listening in and can hear the background. It's starting to get a little bit louder when all the people are walking by to go to the bathroom now because it's a little bit later in the evening, and it's been a full day of dart coverage.
Yeah.
And listen, the single elimination and all these, what are you going to do if you're out? You got a long way to go? Hang out and drink.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's starting to show here late at night. This is the latest we've been in the venue hall, right?
I
I can't remember.
think
Thursday
we
night.
were later. We've been later.
I was sleepy that night.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, and the main thing is
It's just going to be
This year-
They're going to be nice and goofy. It's just
this year we had a little different setup than last year's, where we were in an office and stuff. We're kind of out in the hallway next to this. Yeah, it's
I
difficult.
get it. I've been in the corner here. I haven't had a problem.
Yeah.
Even with people walking by, I actually kind of like the fact that people are able to stop by and say hi if they want to.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes it a little bit more
It kind of keeps us still in the mix. A lot of times when we're stuck
babies in the corner.
in the office or something, we don't get a lot of that, just because we're busy. We're working.
I appreciate you calling it an office when it's really a closet.
Most of the
They're
time, it is a
closets, yeah.
closet or a random bathroom that we get shoved in.
98% of the time it's a closet, 2% bathroom.
2% bathroom. Yep.
I once had a window wherever I was streaming. It was nice.
Stephen Parks asking about if we're going to be at Ghost on the Coast this year. Not that I know of. We haven't been reached out to for that one, and I'm sure I will tell them no because I am already booked a ton for this year, and I'm going to be honest.
Be honest.
Don't want to do it. just flat out.
Stop being honest.
I'm sorry. I want a little family time here and there, guys. It's about every other week here on out for the rest of the year for us. So,
and that's not including the CSD Challenger Series. It starts on this Monday.
Yeah, and not including a 2-week trip to the UK.
Yep. Yeah, God forbid.
Jeez.
Sounds terrible for you.
Look at this. Downstairs are staying up. He's staying up.
Of course
Big
he's staying up.
140.
Again, you have a shot at the 180. You're going to shoot it. 119 remains. And in that spot, he actually did shoot the wrong shot on that last. But again, you got an opportunity to the 180.
Yeah,
You shoot the
yeah.
180.
And
You
then
need to start down on 19s.
The only reason I say that is just because the Shanghai opportunity a little bit easier.
Treble. Would have left it. You know what? The 119 is really just the 120. You just have to switch a segment. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, easy peasy.
Well,
And Mike has just struggled since leg number 1.
He really has. He came
Yeah.
off in a heap, and now it's
It's a hope.
exactly what it is.
And he's got to hope Brian misses 75. Should be one dart, 18. Tops for the match and the title of the bonus event number 2. $600 not yet in the pocket of Brian Garland. I love this route. Treble 13. Would have given a shot at the 32, however.
It's a tricky one.
67 remains, so treble 17. Yep.
Yeah,
Leaves 50. So Brian's going to get a shot. 3 match starts incoming. He's 0 for 1. And now there's some pressure on it with Mike on 50. I guess more pressure. Could $600 be nice to have in that pocket right now?
Certainly would. Oh.
But the hardest double to hit is always the last one. Can Mike break right here and become the favorite? 32. Pins it. My. Let's go to a last leg decider in this bonus event number 2. Mike Gentry from nowhere makes it a 2-2 score line. Will Brian Garland get more match darts, or were those the 4 that he had the opportunity to do it in? $600 goes to first place. Let's run down the prize pool upside down.
Upside down.
300 to second. So that's a difference of $300 for those of us doing math at home and here. 150 for top 4. So these guys playing for an extra $300 in this last league decider.
A solid major league reference there, bud, for you.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, when I grabbed the form and started to look at the payouts, stuff like that, I realized it was upside down, so that's why I said it. In case you guys did not want that play-by-play tape. I'll bring it to you anyway. Yeah, Mike snatchy again kind of on these scoring rounds. Brian stands pretty steady. 60 to start. He's been very solid. I'm going to guess he's going to get more match darts even though Mike went first in this one. 60-60 is a good start. It's a nervy start for some of the players that we saw earlier today and last night. But 60s, especially when your opponent's not hitting 60, is a great round at this time. And that's a beautiful first dart. And Mike is running. Brian's running, sorry. Dang it, I ruined the whole call because I got.
did.
Dang it. It was such a good one, too.
Dang it, Jenny.
You blow it.
Alrighty, here, Brian. You've got
Yep.
got a distance here in front of your opponent.
And don't let off the gas, and he's not.
Keep running. Yep. And
look at this.
Come on now.
Great 140 to follow the 140. And how about last leg decider after 12, he's on 101. He's averaging 100 right now in this last leg decider. What a time. And also, that's after missing 4 match starts in the previous leg.
Yep.
This is impressive. Let's see if we can take this out for a 15-darter in the last leg decider. Treble, 19. Yep. 24.
Ooh.
Nothing wrong there. Goes outside. 24 will remain. Mike not on a finish. I like the way he looked at that 305. I don't know if Will agrees with that. He's an 18s on 305 type of person, right?
What was that?
cool. Brian
18's on 305?
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't need to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Double 3 now. Bottom of the board, where everyone hates, and he just got rid of it because he can.
Yeah, that's a smart move. Yeah.
You might as well throw the second dart at it, but that's fine.
Yeah.
There's no harm done in the second dart at all. But whatever. I probably would have not thought about it through either. I didn't earlier when he had 52, and I said bust, bust, bust instead of the 2 for the double 2. Double 12. Well, 15 left, so
7.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the only logical play there. Does do it, but Mike's got to be thinking, last leg.
Gave me opportunities.
And he's starting to do this again, and there you go, 95 scored. He's knocking on the door, 116 left if Brian doesn't take this out, but nobody misses double 4. And Brian Garland is the champion of the bonus event number 2 here at DPFL Live Event number 3. Shout out to Harry Carter for chalking that bad boy.
Yeah, for sure. Good shout out to him. But we got another one coming your way here next. It's going to be Brian Mercer taking on who?
I was not prepared like I'm supposed to be. Alex Spellman.
I've never heard of him.
Alex Spellman, Brian Mercer. Coming up next. Don't go anywhere, guys. Sean Green, Will Stewart, Nick Dichiria, or should I call him Nick DeSleepy? We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final of the bonus event number 1. Alex Spellman, Brian Mercer. We got the Canadian from Newfoundland, who has as smooth a shot as anyone, taking on Alex Spellman, newcomer.
Yeah, brand new player
to the world of darts.
I was actually here for a bowling tournament, funnily enough.
Look at this. Alex Spellman.
Might be a natural at the game.
Maybe beginner's luck. We're going to see what happens here. I'm Sean Green, joined by my partner in comms this entire weekend, Nick Dichiria. Nick, it is great to have you here on this call for this final.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've been spoiled with great matches throughout, and honestly, I've been enjoying our coverage of the bonus events. I did a couple of those bonus event 2 matches, and having the range of different kinds of players and showing everybody that really contributes to this program take part in having some fun, throwing some great darts. It's certainly something wonderful, and I'm excited for every bit of this final and some good darts.
Absolutely. I've also very much enjoyed having players come up to me, talking about listening back to the coverage. I got to meet Jimmy today, the man that I said was from Ireland. And he's from North Carolina.
And you guys were having a laugh?
Yeah, it was a great time. I was like, I just need to actually meet you, so I never say you're from Ireland again. And he started bursting out laughing. He's like, yeah, I was listening to it playback. And he's like, I felt terrible about the match, but I was like, all right, I guess I'll listen to it. And then he said that, and I was like, oh no. So it was great.
Well, potential 14 at darter for Alex Spellman does go his way there for leg number 1. Blink and you miss it.
All right. So here is the worst case scenario of all time that you can ever have happen to you at a major tournament. You ready?
Ready.
And I want you to think of something worse. You tell me if there's something worse.
Okay, you let me know.
You sign up for the 9:30 blind draw.
Mm-hmm.
Single elimination.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You're excited. You're
I
waiting
am.
for your partner. You're excited to see who the partner is.
Absolutely.
You're waiting to see, I guess you're waiting to see who your opponent is. It could be anyone that is signed up for this thing that, good or bad. And you see your partner. You're like, I don't know who that person is, but awesome. Let's have a good time. And then you see you're playing Alex Spellman in the first round. And you're like, dang it. All right, cool. This is great. I'm going to lose in the first round. And then you've come to find out that Alex Spellman's still playing another tournament. And you have to wait to lose until he's done winning that other tournament. So Ashley Ritchie is in that exact situation right now.
Which is a great friend of Alex Spellman. They travel around to a lot of different events and have played together several times.
She designed his jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
And, so she is pretty much waiting to lose to Alex. She's been waiting for an hour and 17 minutes now to lose to Alex Spellman in the blind draw.
Yeah, or win.
Now, this wacky format actually gives her some hope, and she knows it because we talked about that even earlier. So, again, I would dominate that blind draw tonight. Dominate it.
Might be the only tournament Sean Green has ever potentially dominated. Brian Mercer, 6 darts for 1-4-6 here. In good position to be able to grab this leg on the board as Alex Spellman on the outside looking in with 1-8-3.
Yeah, for most of our audiences here this evening, you obviously know Alex Spellman. At this point, were you under a rock if you didn't? So, Brian Mercer, however, being from Newfoundland, being unable to travel as much, but having the opportunity with DPFL remote is all the difference for these gentlemen. Without remote, without
double top is pinned for Mercer there to make it 1 apiece.
There you go. Without quarantine darts, in those situations, BDG that came after, you wouldn't have a Jacob Taylor. You wouldn't have some of these other guys that are now able to make these tour stops, and they're playing against the best people around the country, around the world, when they're disconnected from most of it.
And I've mentioned the post-COVID renaissance before in darts, especially here in North America. It's been extremely prevalent.
I believe it's pronounced renaissance.
Yeah, maybe it is, but you look at all these different players and you look at all these different circuits that popped up that enabled to normalize remote play more than it ever was before. Mm-hmm. That's what leads to these moments as Alex Spellman nails a 1-7-1 in there for these players to start feeling more connected. Because let's be honest, America is huge. Canada is huge. It is hard to get to events, and there's so many events going on across the country. Flights can be cheap. They can be expensive. gas can and is expensive. So to have the ability to play top-notch talent at your home, that's why these talents are popping up. That's why you're seeing the success of something like a DPFL here.
Wow, even Alex Bowman can shoot a 25 sometimes, guys. So don't be so hard on yourself when that happens. And then follow with Brian shooting a 28. These are two very talented dart players that are just showing us all that we all can play this game the same way every once in a while.
Yeah, and Alex Spellman right now currently still averaging above a 90.
Yeah. All right, never mind. All right, forgot
So,
that part.
and Brian Mercer averaging above 74, which is still above average, not above his average.
No. This is a slack performance from him, and he would say that. I would hope that Brian would say that.
Well, Spellman with 186. Let's see how keenly he sets himself up. And that first start leads me to believe it's going to be a good setup indeed. Oh, this is beautiful stuff from Spellman. Goes for the trip 10 to leave 36. Hits a single 10, but I think he'll be okay with that, as 250 now needs to get brought within range for Brian Mercer.
Yeah, that first start's killing him right now. It happens sometimes where you just miss into a certain number. For Spellman, that's typically the 5s when he does so. Tops. And he usually loves the double 10. But not today, he says. He comes back with 10. Mercer might have some time, depending on what Spellman does. I'm going to guess Spellman splits. He's going to go at tops. Or it's right next to tops. He's going to go with double 5.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Now there's some pressure on it.
He really does like the top of the board pretty much for his doubling, so he's going to go right at this one here. Pulls it in, but he still has a dart at a double potentially. Double 2 for match point. And it clicks the wire right on top. So Mercer, big moment here in a leg that he thought he was out of, all of a sudden getting a big opportunity, an opportunity that Spellman typically doesn't leave.
Yeah, the opportunity is knocking, but that's going to hurt it a little bit.
Yeah,
that's going to hurt it a lot, but you got to go 15 bull there. That's insane.
First start was intended for trip 14 for double 16 there. Well off the margins, again, especially for Brian Mercer, a very talented player.
You cannot go 25 for tops there. You have got to go 15 for bullseye.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly, as Alex Spellman does pin it and get to a 2-1 point here.
Misstep cost him the leg. Will potentially cost him the leg.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, he's going to fire right back in there. 85 scored.
And darts is a fickle game. So at any point, Brian Mercer will just be like, all right, that happened. All right, now all of a sudden every dart's going to feel so easy to throw. And it's one of those things that's just so frustrating. Like, can you just hit what you're aiming at every single time, please?
Yeah, the problem, though, is that Spellman is not going to give these opportunities. Maybe once a match, possibly twice. And he's got to hope for twice, right? Yeah. But Alex Spellman has made a living off of limiting his opponent's opportunities.
And that's a great recovery dart on the last one there for Mercer. Dropped dart, gets picked up and thrown right into the red bed there for the 121.
Spellman from Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. And then I love the Newfoundland flag that flies strong for the Newfie proud.
I love the jersey in general. The giant moose on it is just awesome.
Listen.
You love it. You love it.
Absolutely beautiful, beautiful country. Beautiful Providence that love to visit one day.
Spellman not happy with either of those darts. And you can tell he wears his frustration. He talked about it in one of his recaps.
Great last start.
What he does in particular is try to tell himself there's no point in being mad. If you're frustrated, frustration happens, but you can choose to be in a better mood and you can choose to let it affect you or choose to go past it and persevere. Or something along those lines in that video. I don't know. I kind of just read the subtitles. I'm just kidding.
But he's right, though. And
he is.
You'll see he gets frustrated, but he coaches himself on the frustration. That's what he's doing there. He's not actually angry or upset. It's you know better. Got to coach you here. And right there, that was not anger. That was reservation.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. For tops. Does get it in there. 2-2. Last leg decider in bonus event number 1 here. Alex Spellman with the darts you would have to imagine might be favored here. But not by much.
I can tell you who's not happy about this, Ashley Ritchie. Still waiting. is what she's doing.
Well, 49 opener there for Alex is far from ideal.
Upside down. Nope, it was not upside down. Nick, let's talk payouts here to remind the folks. $800 to first place, $400 to second. So last leg decider for all the marbles, a.k.a. $400 in difference.
Pretty good payout, especially for what is literally called a bonus event, right?
If it was you versus me in this, would we split it 600 apiece?
No.
And then play it out for fun?
I'll be honest. I don't normally
Will
do
you please
splits.
be honest and not lie?
I'm going to be honest. I don't like splits.
You're not a splitter?
I'm not a big split guy. I mean, maybe if it was honestly, especially if it was someone I knew personally, I would probably not want to do the split.
It makes sense. You're a bowler. You don't like splits.
Something like that. I think at the end of the day, I just always want to push myself to be able to win everything, and giving yourself the safety net of the split. I mean, don't get me wrong. Financially and physically, does it make sense? Absolutely, especially if you're good friends with somebody. But I think in general, it kind of takes away a little bit, for me personally, a little bit of the integrity. I don't feel as fiery. I don't throw the same. And I think that is a big factor. And as the game continues to legitimize in North America, I think that you're going to see splitting become less common or more frowned upon, one or the other. On major events, I should say. Your local blind draw, I split every time, for the record. I get king seed at the blind draw, I'm splitting. I'm out.
I'm happy that you made that distinction.
I'm talking about major events.
You're a major...
No. I'm talking about major staged events at regional, national levels. Your local blind draw, you split with the guy. It's 2 a.m. I probably have a tab to pay and a car to drive.
All right, well, Spellman trying to leave 100. And now they know that my friend next to me is not a terrible human being. Brian Mercer, 184.
Big moments.
52.
Alex Spellman. 100 is the look here.
Top stops.
It's his preferred way, except for when it isn't. Does leave himself at 40. Champagne shot for Mercer.
I wish you would just do the same thing every time. That'd be nice, Alex. We study your movements all day long, and then you do something different.
And the first start does not go inside. You need to get at least a single bowl. Single would have left the trip 19 for double bowl, or you can go double-double for double 16.
And the quicker Alex gets up to throw those 3 darts, hopefully hits the first one, the quicker Ashley Ritchie gets to play.
Well, looking for the win here, $800.
Yeah, big moment for Spellman.
Just going to continue to work it in there. And he does find it there.
And you can tell that was a shaky dart because it was his winning moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Jacob saw your chalker on that one. And that will actually conclude our bonus coverage of the bonus events for the bonus time with our bonus friends.
Guys, it was an absolute pleasure to have you in the chat today, watching along. I know we got a little weird there at the end. You're welcome. Sean Green, Nick Dichiria, Will Stuart will be back in action tomorrow at
10 a.m.
10 a.m. All right. So, no, I'm just kidding. 10 a.m. sounds wonderful. We're excited to have you on for a lot of coverage. It features the Challenger 1, Challenger 2, starting at 9 a.m. with the Women Division playoffs and the Division 1 playoffs starting at 9 a.m. So we'll bring you coverage of all of that and more tomorrow live here at the DPFL event number 3. Sean Green, I already said this. Have a great night.
Sean Green, have a great night.
Will, you want to say it too? Thank you.
Jesus, guys. Sean Green, have a great night.